Hello, everybody. My name is Ben Jackson. I am a senior network engineer for Frontrunner Network Systems, and today I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of Airwave's new feature, Clarity, and talk about how that is going to be able to help you troubleshoot your network during problem times. So I got open Airwave here. This is Aruba's demo system. So over on the left here, you'll see there's a new added tab called Clarity. If I go ahead and click on that and maximize this area here, we're able to see 4 key factors in our network during any time period that we wish to identify. So right now it's set to 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and expand that to the past day. So right away, right at the top, we get an overview of what's failing on our network. We can see association, authentication, DHCP, and DNS problems, issues, response time, and failure. Right at the top here, I can change between the time it's taking for these values to get populated, and I can also see failure percentages. Down below, we get a quick summary where we can toggle between users, APs, and folders. So if we want, we can see top users that are possibly failing authentication. We can sort this. So we can go ahead and see that this client, the average response time for authentication is 35,000 milliseconds. So that's about 35 seconds. And for authentication taking that long, that could be a big problem. We're also seeing that there was 3 tries and 100% failure rate for that. In fact, so that it actually isn't drawing DHCP at all. So maybe we want to look at why maybe there's an authentication problem. So we can go right over to this authentication box, see our authentication server. So right at the top, you'll see that they have a ClearPass demo server running, and that's doing MacAuth. And the failures there are 100%, 7 out of 7. We can also see that ClearPass is down towards the bottom doing .1x, and there's about a 40% failure rate on that. We can also see that there's some other servers defined here doing different things and get those. So we get a clear picture of all our authentication servers and how they're responding, depending on what type you're using. We can also view this in a graphical format. And we can also look at details. So let's say that authentication isn't your problem, and we want to go ahead and look at DHCP. So on the left here, we have their DHCP servers. We can see on average how they're responding, and so we can tell which maybe one of our servers is responding better than the other. We can also view this as a graphical format, so we can see over time some of our key spikes and for what server. DNS, we have the same thing. Now DNS, there tends to be a lot of entries because people bring their devices in and they can configure that value. So as you see, we have quite a multitude of them here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll back up to the top, and we're actually going to be able to change thresholds if we want to, but then also filter our DNS servers and turn them on or off. I'm going to leave them all on for this purpose, but this is how you can turn off some things like Google that you don't really care about and only identify which ones are your servers. I can also view this as a graphical format. And lastly, we have association down here at the bottom. Typically this is pretty good, but if you have bad interference or something, you might see association failures really high for a certain AP. So it's really good to be able to identify what APs those might be occurring with. Back in the summary, I showed you users. Let's take a look at APs. Let's sort our APs by association. Here we can see we have one with a 16% failure rate. So then I would go ahead and click on this AP and investigate further. We can also look at by folder. So if you have multiple buildings, like for K-12, if you have a high school, elementary, and you want to see the difference between the performances, if you break up the APs by folders, we can go ahead and do that there. Okay, thank you. This is a quick overview of Clarity. It's a great new feature that Aruba's introduced to help troubleshoot, and it just adds to the depth of the platform here for Airwave. Thanks again, and look forward to you watching my next video.